Zholy for 9D 211 coming at you with another video. This video is going to be regarding a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. Um, he was a student of the class DMA Akatsuki that I started, I think, like 2 years ago. So far, I've had somewhere around 33 to like 36 graduates. How does it work? Very simply, they just come to the channel. Um, they're required to upload videos of dueling. Then after that, they enter into team DMA. Everybody goes through the same process. Nobody is different. For the most part, I don't add people that have videos. So usually, everyone starts from square one, meaning they didn't even have any videos. So Zholy was no exception. I think he had 1 or 2 subscribers when I met him, and everybody goes through the same process. I just tell you to upload a video. If you don't know, I tell you how, then you do it. Then afterwards, I see how you do, and then I commentate on it, and we take you to the next level. I open uh, a Discord, but it was already way too late because Zholy was already the king of games by then. From the very beginning, I saw a lot of potential in him because I kept telling him, you're going to be somebody great one day. You're going to be one of the best Dark Magician players. Um, and then also I told him, you're the king of games. And I always told people on my channel, if you go back like a month or two, I commentated on him about how good he is and how he was going to surpass me right away. Uh, and I told him openly, it's because he's gifted. He's a gifted person. Gifted and special people, they're only like a handful. Like out of 1,000, you usually have maybe like 30 only. The rest of them are not. And he's one of those guys where he's like very super special, very gifted. And Yu-Gi-Oh, particularly Dark Magician. I'm very proud to have mentored him and taught him in the early stages of his Yu-Gi-Oh life. And obviously, there was a time where he graduated, and he was telling me like, I learned so much, and thank you. But I was telling him, to be honest with you, a teacher or a master can only teach a student so far. Then afterwards, the student surpasses the master. Like the students are better than the master. That's the whole goal of the master. You want, or the teacher, you want to take a student, teach him, and then he has to be better than you. This is the whole goal. Otherwise, it's just pointless. So he took everything like glue. We're gonna go over his deck. Obviously, I'm not gonna include the audio, and also I'm gonna speed up the video. The reason why is because if you want the full content, you have to go to his channel. You have to subscribe to his channel. You can ask him the questions. Don't ask me, because this is his video. I asked him for permission. He said yes. It's something that I've been doing for him since he had 2 subscribers, and I promised him his channel would grow. I told him just focus on dueling, and everything I told him came true. So yeah, I'm very happy for him. I'm very proud of him. Zholy, make sure you check him out. We're gonna go over the deck really fast. So if you know anything about YCS formats and champion decks, and it's something that I covered with the class and all the students, the 2-2-2 ratio. So what is a 2-2 ratio? Like, why not play one? Why not play the full play set of three? What's really going on? And people don't figure this out. And I've talked about this maybe like a year and a half ago, but I had already understood it since 2019. That's when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh again, Dark Magician. And believe me, no one played Dark Magician. When I played Dark Magician, I never saw a Dark Magician deck. I could play 100 duels, I never saw one. Even at the locals, no Dark Magician deck. So it feels lonely. Similar to like Loza when he started playing the Dark Magician somewhere around mid 2020. Nobody played it, and he only had about 4 subscribers. And I told him he would be great in the future, and what I said came true. Also, I just told them certain pointers that I know for a fact are facts. Like, never give up on Dark Magician, and just try your best. And you establish a community, and that's how you get it. So, like I said, back on track with this profile, because there's been a lot of people asking for Master Duel, and I don't want to repeat myself too many times. I've never been into Master Duel. The real reason why I play is because I sell cards online. I sell them locally. I sell decks, and then also I teach a class of Dark Magician. I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and I have 100% success rate. Everybody who comes to me leaves a Dark Magician Master, obviously a lot better than I am, because they incorporate a lot of things. For instance, I don't play hand traps. Never did. I probably never will. But on my students, the advanced level, I tell them you're allowed to play hand traps, but there's a way that you play them that work, and there's a play that you win them that break. So, like I said, let's go very quickly through the deck. You'll see how fast I go through it. So, if you think I chitter chatter too much and it take too long, well then, let's see if you can handle the explanation of the deck. So, YCS formats have always been known as the 2-2-2 ratio. The champion decks, like the ones that take the whole event, even when there's 500-600 duelists, the top 10, even the first and second, third place, they play at 2-2-2 for the most part. The reason why is because the number ratio, you have to go on the Google Yu-Gi-Oh calculator, and it's a specific website for calculating percentages. And when you do three, a playset of three is an optimal card ratio, which is around a 75%. I've seen it in your opening hand. And especially with decks that draw, which was one of the things I taught Zholy and a lot of players that come to me. I teach them draw power. And what happens is you change the 75%, and because you draw at least 10 to 12 cards in your first turn through negations, which is something normal, like people think it's out of the world. No, this is just basics. If you can't even draw cards, you probably suck. So Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dark Magician is not known as a draw power deck, believe me. You've never heard it, you never will. I've been doing this since 2019, where I can draw 20 cards on my first turn, even after they negate me several times. So that makes people subscribe to my channel. I taught that to Zholy, all my students, and that's what makes them stand out. Nobody else teaches that out of the millions of subscribers. So once you draw at least 10 cards into your deck from the first turn with the 75% ratio of drawing a card, it automatically goes to 100%, because you draw 10 cards, so you're going to draw the third card anyways. Now, people who play the 2-2-2 ratio, which is the YCS format, that means you're not going to see it at that higher percentage, but you can increase it to somewhere around 90%, because you still draw 10 cards, so you're going to see it anyways. So at that point, you don't need to see you don't need to play a 3 ratio, because you're going to see it anyways, right? You're like a 90 to 95% of seeing it, because instead of drawing 5 cards, you're going to end up drawing somewhere around 15 to 18 cards in your first turn. So guess what? Even though you have 2 cards, the percentage on the calculator is going to end up showing somewhere around a 90 to 95%. So you're going to get it, believe me. It's a fact. So you don't need the 3. People play it at 3 so they can see it more, but when you draw, you can play it at 2. Another thing that YCS formats do play it at 2 is because when you remove the third copy, you essentially open a room for another card. So the deck is flooded with more engines, because the more you put playsets, the more you take up space of the deck, and then people end up going past 40. But in the class, Zholy attended, and everybody else who's doing really great too. They believe it or not, Magic Calibra is another person, and I have about 6 other I would say half famous YouTubers that do really excellent at YCS. They're locals online. That yeah, the ratio of the 222 and the draw power, and they go that and they understand that. Then afterwards, um, they branch off to create their own deck. Now, the Dark Magician at two, the reason why you do that is because if one of them gets banished, you have the second. There's no other reason um, to play at two. The deck has too much synchronizing, so that's the real reason. If you play it at one, it gets banished. Basically, all the Dark Magician stuff is dead. So the two ratio is fine when you're playing top tier. All the YCS formats play it at two, so that's it. And then, like I said, the two. So then cards that you see at three is because you want them and they're good. Um, so then he also has the special summon monster. And then he has the Magician Souls, and then the two ratio of the maxi. And now that you understand why they play it at two, um, so it makes more room. You get to play more engines. Um, you don't have to go past 40, and then the 40 card limit is the fastest out of them all. People can argue, but believe me, it's the fastest. If you don't believe it, challenge Zholy. You probably won't beat him. He's already on diamond, and they understand the basics. So rod at three is fine. I have decks where I don't play any rods, and it still works. You don't need rod, but people use him because he's an extender for a lot of plays, and then it searches. So rod is fine. And then the Ash Blossom, you already know what it does. And then the Ghost Bell. I warned people to buy these cards when they were cheap. I gave some away, and then some of them I still have some copies. The real reason for the hand traps and why I don't play them is because they brick the deck. But there is another alternative way to play them, which has been recent for the last 4 months or so. When Baron de Fleur was introduced somewhere around 2 months ago, I taught the class you can finally play hand traps, and people ask me like, why if you're against them? Well, the thing is, I'm not against the hand traps. I am against the brick hands, because when people play like a boss monster, like a dragoon or whatnot, and you draw a hand trap, there's nothing you could do. Your hand trap will not beat dragoon, so that's why people lose. So there is another alternative if a card does four things in one. So I'll show you an example. Um, like for example, um, any hand trap, you use it for the graveyard, for material, for something else, or use it as a regular hand trap, or use it to normal and synchro with the tuner and go into Baron de Fleur, or if you use it for, um, you could be using it for the Magic Alliance Fusion, which is different spellcasters. So there's a lot of reasons why you can use a card, and that's a thing that I teach. If you want to be top tier style deck, one card has to do at least 3 to 4 different things. Like let's say they negate the card should be able to do something else when it's in the graveyard. The card should do something in your hand, then it should do something different when it's on the field. If you have a card and it has a one card use, those cards are trash, because once they get negated, they don't do anything. So it's optimal play, versatility, and then top tier style, meaning one card does four things. And that's one of the things that I teach in the course. You can see some of the courses, I do some of the more top secret courses on my Discord and one-on-one with people, but I do upload some of the overall common. People don't hate me, hate my channel, hate my formats, hate what I have to say, but you know what? I have nothing but champions that I teach, and then when you turn around to them, they have nobody. They thought they suck. So that's the thing about that I have results. So I did tell the students to start playing the hand traps now, because you can use them as hand traps. You can use them in the graveyard for the quintet. You can use them to tune for tuning something, for synchros. You can use them just for so many things. Yeah, and then some of them people use certain um, hand traps to trigger the effect of other effects. For example, like the invoked engine, that it needs a light in the graveyard. Like there's a lot of combinations that that you can use them for, and then some of the cards you can special summon them back again to use the effect multiple times. Um, yeah, so if a card has at least 2 to 3 or more uses, it's a top tier card and you want it. Back then it didn't matter, but now it does because of Baron. So now that you covered all that, the other one, there's a new subscriber that was asking me about DPE, Phoenix Enforcer. So I told them this, I think a day or two ago. I told them as long as your win ratio is somewhere around 80%, it doesn't matter what cards you play. You can play DP, you can play anything. And I promised that I was gonna make maybe later today a percentage video. This is like advanced class because I have everything organized in a binder of how the class goes because of the success. Like once you get success, I ended up making what is it called? Like a course. I have a course to teach people. And people are like, why do you get so carried away? Well, because I love to help the community. I love to really help people understand Dark Magician and move up to the next level. I don't get nothing out of it. No one's paying me money or nothing. It's just free. Nobody else does that. And then I do one-on-one sessions. Um, so you're not gonna beat that. So that's why I get a lot of haters, and it's normal. But I do it for the people that I'm teaching. That's what makes me redo it again because I love the community. I love the people that love Dark Magician. So the people that don't, I still love them. But it's a difference between those who I can help and those who I can't. So the DPE is obviously, if you already noticed, on Master Duel is the substitute for Dragoon. It does the same thing. You could basically use Anaconda for it, just like you would a Dragoon. You use the DPE, so it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Then after that, you have the draw power with the upstarts, and then you have more draw power with terraforming, and then instant fusion, and then the destiny, the DP, and then he has the other fusion card, and he has more draw power with the chicken game. Smash Salvations, one circle, which I've always said is the optimal play, um, and then two Call by the Grave because why not? And then after that, you basically have the Sky Striker package there with the Hornet drones. You know how that works. And then the two ratio again for the Soul Servant. Now some people believe that, oh, that's dumb to play two, or I've even seen people play one. Um, and you have to remember why they're doing that, because he never wants to break to where he accidentally draws three in excuse me, in his first turn. So that'll never happen to him in his whole life of playing the deck because he doesn't have three, right? He only has two. So if you saw, well, actually, I seen this duo. I'm gonna show just a little piece, and because if you want the full content, go to his channel, subscribe to his channel, ask him the questions. But in my opinion, he's from the very beginning. Like 2 months ago, I had already noticed that he's probably the king of games and master duels for Dark Magician. I don't know anybody that's as powerful as him, and I know a lot of people. And it's not like he got this good like a week ago. No. He's always been good. He just needed some guidance, and after that, this guy's on fire. He's definitely the best Dark Magician player in Master Duel that I've seen. So then, the ratio at 2 is because we had already gone over it, remember? He doesn't want to have too many, so he wants to draw into something else instead of the third copy of it. And 2 is fine. He gets the job done. He already has a lot of other draw power And he feels he doesn't need to search a specific card, so then that's fine. And then you have the Secrets of Dark Magic. You already know what that does. And he has one Solemn, uh, just in case he needs it. I don't advise people playing the Solemn cards because they make you pay life points. But to be honest with you, the only other way is if you have 80% win rate or higher. If you have that, then it doesn't matter what you play anymore. Um, and that's something that I teach in the course. Like I said, I'm gonna make another video for winning percentage so you guys understand that uh, all the things that I tell you, like 95% of the things that I tell you, which is basically almost everything, no one will ever tell you that. No other dark magician player, nobody else in your life, not just Yu-Gi-Oh. Because I have a lot of insight and understanding into all the things, not just Yu-Gi-Oh, but you can apply them everywhere, and it's a benefit to you, like making extra income, being smart on the market watch, the decks, spending $0 buying Yu-Gi-Oh. I teach all that stuff a year, um, but making a lot on it. Like nobody else teaches you these things. So the thing is, um, if you get the 80% win rate or higher, it does not matter anymore what you play. You can play anything you want. And like I said, I don't want to elaborate too much on that because I'd rather just make the video so you guys understand that. But I guarantee you, no one has ever taught you that. You never heard it. And I've been teaching this for years. This isn't a new teaching. A lot of the people that are coming to the channel, they think it's new. Nope. Nope, it's old news. It's just everybody's barely catching up. So, um, one Eternal, to be honest with you, I've always taught to play two. But the only other way you would play one is, like I said, if you can hit 80% win rate or higher, then at that point it doesn't matter. I always play two, um, because I go more for the Dragon Knight. But as you can see, he's not playing it. So at this point, you don't even need him. So to be honest with you, one circle and one eternal, you hardly ever use them. So at that point, it's better just to drop them. But you know, some people play it anyway. So then you can look at his extra deck, the fusion. So you got the Baron and all these specific cards targeted to help the deck. The only actual boss monster that's worthy in it out of the mall is probably just Baron and DPE. Um, and we're gonna take a look at the video. Um, and here we go. So he's special summoning a Tenny deck. He discards, negates, draws, and that's where what I told you, he draw two. You see, if you would have had three, he could have bricked. So then afterwards, he normals rod, it gets negated, popped, and then he goes into the DPE attack, activate effect, pop. So at this point, the guy, he's about to top deck, which is something I don't teach. Um, but you know, he as he progresses, he's gonna build up his hand. You want to stay away from top decking because that increases the percentage. Like I said on another video, I'm gonna talk about that. The percentage of losing. People don't see it like that, but because they're not smart. But everything's a percent ratio, believe me. So mathematically, so the other opponent has three cards, and if he's not able to do something from that, he's gonna be top decking, and at that point, the high percentage of him losing is in place, meaning the percentage for Zholy of winning the duel is increased to maximum. So he comes back, pops it, he brings a token, he brings it back again. So it's a loop. Specials activates again, absorbs to the crystal, and then activates the fact that everybody knows to go back to go into a Baron, um, and he uses the effect of the master to special summon him and then go into it. And it's something that I told Zholy maybe like a month and a half ago. I kept emphasizing to him, please play hand traps, but you have to collaborate them together um, with the synchros like Baron. And at that point, then yes, your cards are maximal, like a top tier style. One card does four things. If you can squeeze a card to where it does more, then even better. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If you have any questions regarding the top tier and one card doing 5 or 6 different things, let me know. I'll send you to my video that teaches this class. In that class, Zholy was there and 7 other people. So they get taught all this, and then they become king of games. So you got the Baron, the DPE, and his opponent is not able to out the DPE. And there's a lot of situations where if they're not able to out it, the card is just gonna continue to come back every turn, and it's like a negation. And if you can't get past it, it's similar to like Yara, like a Yara lock, because you're not allowed to draw anymore. So with the DPE, that one card that you had to out or like to reestablish, they pop it, keep popping it. So it is a sequence. People don't realize that. So now he's got Baron. Now it's too late. So that's just one of them. Like I said, if you want to finish watching his content, go to his channel, check out his latest video. I'm not gonna be going more further from this, but I think it's about 11 minutes. But if you want to watch it, you should go to his channel, and there you go. If he should be honest with you. If people don't believe me, like I tell them, like, oh, well, NZ Holy from the beginning, we were building decks and trying them out to see what he worked best for him. And to be honest with you, that's why I told Z Holy, I don't want to do Master Duel, and I told him you can take over for Master Duel. So like if anybody wants to do Master Duel, wants to do a profile, I've always said it. It's not something new. Just talk to Z Holy. He's the king of games and Master Duel. I don't play Master Duel. I played it just because people asked me, and I got, I think, to Platinum 3, and then after that I stopped playing it. And I have the videos uploaded where I kill everything. When I started dueling, every deck that exists, like go on my channel, I was going against Platinum 1 decks. They were worthless. All the decks that people are scared of, I have them on my channel, how I just murder them. They don't really do anything. And I saw Z Holy struggling with some of the decks. And I taught him a few little techniques of the weaknesses of the deck, because that's another part. Not only do you have to be a good duelist and have a good deck, on top of that, you have to know the weakness of your opponent's deck. And then when you combine it all with the sequence, then you get the king of games, which is what Z Holy is. But he obviously elaborates way past the class that I taught, because he incorporates a lot of more powerful plays. And yeah, congratulations, Z Holy, good job. And you know what, that haven't been said, you guys. The video's gone for long enough. I discussed what people wanted to know, and then the new subscribers, and they were talking about DPE, and it falls under that category. As long as you get the 80% win rate or higher, does not matter what you play. DPE is a substitute for Dragoon. It works the same way with Anaconda, so play it. That's not a problem. And of course, it doesn't matter what people say, as long as you win. And if people go against you, that's a sign that you're a special person. It's a sign that you're a successful person, because all the successful people, they all have in common is the haters, the people who go against you, your enemies. So if you have a couple of haters, a couple of enemies, check that off your list. You're a successful person. And yeah, you're a successful person because that's what we all have in common. We all have haters. We all have people who dislikes us, and that's normal. If everybody loves you, then yeah, that's probably more likely you're a loser. You're not successful, but you have to have haters. That's a good sign. So, with that having been said, dark magic attack.